At the beginning of the story we meet a girl from Siberia. Let's see the prison, where a lot of Germans are held. The soldiers were made to stand in line. Actually, after the end of World War II, Russia captured many German soldiers, and they were used in coal mines. The security of the building was very low. But despite this, no one tried to escape from this prison. He did not do it because all around this jail there was only ice, and this prison was impossible for any human being. It was a full 14,000 kilometers from Busty. So even if a prisoner escapes from this jail, so in the freezing cold of Siberia, his death was certain. This prison was all around. Thousands of kilometers of snow stretches was built in. That is why any prisoner here, I couldn't even think of running away. But among these prisoners, there was one prisoner who was he was sharp-minded, and he escaped from this prison. Wanted to go to his wife and daughter. The name of this prisoner was Clemens Forell, he was to serve a full 25-year sentence in prison, and Clemens did not want that at all. May he spend half his life in this jail. Clemens must escape from this prison at any cost. Luckily, one day Clemens was able to escape. Got a chance, and he went to take a escape from this prison by boarding a goods train. Now that he is out of jail, he has looked at the open sky. When I saw the stars, she jumped with joy. But this happiness was short-lived. After traveling a short distance, the goods train was stopped, and when Clemens looked out, saw a Russian soldier gun was standing in front of him. Unfortunately, here, Clemens was caught and tried to escape from prison. He was locked in an open-air cell for the crime. It was very cold, and the night was the rain in that cell. Clemens had to, not for hours, but for 2 whole days. He was kept in jail. Now, after 2 full days, the next morning, the warden came to him and took him out of the cell. No torture by taking him out. It was done. He simply said that your friends are eagerly waiting for you. Now that Clemens has met his teammates. So he took all his sticks and rods and attacked him. Waiting. All that was very much on Clemens. Were angry because Clemens was the reason for his escape. Kept them all hungry for the last 2 days. Had gone, and Clemens now understood the warden's point. I came to know why he said that. Your friends are waiting for you. Now, upon seeing Clemens, the other prisoners attacked him and severely injured him. Clemens was hit hard. He was injured and was admitted to the prison hospital. The jail's doctor was also he was a German prisoner. As soon as Clemens regained consciousness, he told the doctor that I want to escape from jail again, and we need your help. The bravery of Dr. Clemens. I was surprised to see that all this. Not ready to accept defeat even after facing it. The doctor explained to him that he would come out of this prison alive. It's impossible to escape, and if you leave here, even if we ran away, the freezing cold outside, I will die. But the reality is that even if you don't run away from here, your death is certain, because the coal mines you work there, carbon, the amount is too high to be released through the air. It goes into your body and causes cancer. Dangerous diseases like these occur. The doctor told Clemens that he needed try to escape from this prison one last time. So after that, the doctor did his warm clothes, shoes, and everything you need. He took out the luggage and gave it to Clemens and told him. It was also told that Russian soldiers used to take their food. They keep it hidden near the railway lines. He also gave Clemens a gun, so that he could protect himself. The doctor has already prepared all this material. It was collected because he himself was also. He wanted to escape from jail. But a week ago, he found out that he was a cancer patient, and he doesn't have more than 1 month's time. Now he gave Clemens a lunchbox and he said that if you survive then deliver this lunchbox to the family and to say that I am no longer in this world. Here once again in the dark of night. Clemens escaped again, this time. Decided to walk instead of taking the goods train. He did. In the morning, after walking all night. He keeps going because he's afraid. So that the Russian soldiers don't catch him. Now. When the warden learned in the morning that Clemens in prison. If he has escaped from the hospital then he should go straight to the doctor. He went to his room to inquire. But before he could reach her, the doctor had already. He took his life because he knew that. After hearing of Clemens' escape, the warden will torture me to death. After this the warden arrested several Russian soldiers. Sent in search of Clemens and found him alive. He ordered them to be captured and brought back. But even after searching for several days, he could not find Clemens. No trace of Clemens could be found. Luckily it started snowing. Because of this his footprints would disappear. We're going to find Clemens. It was becoming difficult. Now everyone started feeling that Clemens must have frozen to death this winter. But the warden was not ready to accept it. Because the warden knew that Clemens was he is strong and will not give up so easily. He would agree. So he decided to continue the search. Ordered. On the other hand, Clemens, who with all passion I see. He was moving forward, crossing the storm. 9 days after his escape from jail, he was suddenly arrested. The sound of dogs barking was heard and as he turned back he saw a sledge. He saw him coming towards him before he could run away. The sled came near her and she climbed on it. We went ahead. Just then, Clemens' eyes opened. She went and found out she was just dreaming. In fact, Clemens had been. He was walking and now his food is also finished. It was over. Hunger and fatigue caused him to. It was difficult to move forward, but despite this, Clemens did not give up and it continued like that. After a few days, his body also gave up and he fainted from hunger. It was done. Now, a few hours later, when he regained consciousness, he heard a strange sound around him. He saw a seal and on seeing it his eyes lit up. He immediately drew his gun. Fired and aimed with full force. I tried it, but due to fatigue and weakness, his aim went wrong and the seal landed there. She began to flee. Clemens was arrested several days later. There was a small hope of survival. He cannot let go of this hope. Clemens immediately ran after him but Clemens due to ice breaking while running. He falls into the water, causing his leg to ache. Injuries happen. But instead of getting injured, despite this, he pursued the seal. Just as he was about to fire, the seal. She hid behind a rock. Clemens and on. Grows up and takes another look at the seal. Before she went into the water, Clemens fired his last bullet and luckily the bullet hit him. Seeing this, Clemens was delighted. He was thrilled because now he had to eat during the journey. I wasn't worried about it. After several days, Clemens ate his fill and then a little. He rested and continued his journey. Clemens was completely alone on the long journey and there was nothing around him but snow. In this environment, his mental condition deteriorated. It could have been. So he would talk to himself. And keep yourself moving forward by saying positive things. He motivates for this. Along with this, he motivates every time watches its way through the campus. So that he gets lost somewhere in this snowy valley. Don't go. Days passed like this and then. After 2 months of continuous. Clemens found a small tree in this snowy field. I saw this tree. Seeing this tree. Clemens was so happy that he felt as if he had no. He may have found the treasure and he may have run away and climbed the tree. It embraces. In fact, this tree is a symbol of. The sign was that Clemens would run for 2 consecutive months. After this snowy plain has now been crossed. And the forest is about to start ahead. After moving forward, the same thing happened as. He thought, now the forest starts from here. The ice area was ending. He was very happy in the forest. Those sticks. Collects it and lights a fire, and after many months. He falls asleep peacefully the first time. But the next. Whether the day was a peaceful one for him or not is unknown. I don't know. We see the warden on the other side. Who was still looking for Clemens, and he ordered his search party to. She is within a 500 kilometers radius of Clemens. Search. Clemens would have been through a forest. As I was moving forward, suddenly there was a blizzard came in. It was so strong. Even big trees were uprooted from the ground. Began to fall. As soon as Clemens tried to move forward. A big tree falls straight on him. Clemens' luck is good. It was that in the evening 2 men passed by here who were looking for gold. They sent Clemens. Saw it and saved his life in time. After that these 3 moved forward together, and many. After days of travel, through the snowy plains. They came out, and on the way they came across a river. They found a wooden log to cross it. He made a boat of 100 kilograms. While crossing the river they started talking to each other, and he began to tell stories from his childhood. But meanwhile, the river's current increased and the boat lost control. In such a situation, the balance was disturbed and he went straight into the water. He fell. He couldn't swim. He was drowning. Seeing this, Clemens jumped into the water. And somehow managed to get the man to shore. He saved his life by bringing him in. On the other hand, the companion leaves them both to drown. And went ahead alone. His other companion. He was very greedy. He thought he would both die. He must have gone, and due to greed he killed his friend. He also kept the gold for a while. Later, when Clemens and another man came to the tent. When he reached there, the man was very angry with his friend. He became angry and shot him, killing him. Clemens and the man then. They picked up their luggage and continued their journey. For months I kept hoping that someone would. They may find human settlements. But winter is back and everywhere. The forests were hidden under a white sheet of snow. The luggage that the man had picked up was it was heavy, so it took him a long time to walk in the snow. It was getting difficult. Seeing this, Clemens tried to lighten his burden and said, "That you give me your stuff for some time." But here the man suspected that perhaps Clemens also wants to steal his gold. So he attacked Clemens and took him down. He pushes Clemens unconscious. Clemens regained consciousness a short while later. He saw a pack of wolves chasing him. Is coming towards him. To save his life he starts climbing a tree. But the tree. While climbing, a wolf caught hold of his leg. He takes it. But the tree was weak and the middle broke, causing Clemens to fall. Now Clemens felt that he was about to die. Sure enough. Then suddenly, the sound of gunfire. When Clemens opened his eyes, he saw that some wolves are dead and those that were alive. He has fled. In fact, the area's hunters came and saved his life. He took them to his village where the villagers. He was treated. After years of hard work, Clemens had reached a human population. He was very happy to see people. He stayed in the village for days and people. He was treated very well. One day in the village, a letter arrived that wasn't from anyone else but myself. It was from the warden. It stated that a German, the soldier, has escaped from our prison, and if someone gives him shelter, he is a traitor. Now, reluctantly, Clemens had to. He had to leave the village because if he could not leave. If he doesn't go, the warden will also punish the villagers. They would have punished him. Before leaving, the villagers. He was given provisions and a hunter. Let's give you the dog. Now, on this long journey, Clemens also has a partner. So now, he didn't feel lonely. Both of them continued walking for several days. He saw a wooden factory and the dog ran towards him in search of food. Now Clemens is trying to save his dog. Millie went inside. There, the workers recognized him and took him to the owner. Going there, Clemens told the owner his entire. He told a story that made everyone feel sorry for Clemens. They fed him and went to Germany. Clemens put him on a departing train. He was happy that he would reach home soon. But he did not know that the mill owner has reported him to the warden. Now, the warden and his men at the station. I was waiting for him. But the station. Before arriving, Clemens had remotely observed the Russian. Saw the soldiers and as soon as I got the chance, he jumped off the train and escaped. But unfortunately, Russian soldiers spotted him and followed him. Clemens quickly. I crossed the tracks, but suddenly, I don't know why. Seeing this, the warden appeared from nowhere. Clemens' heart sank with fear, for now he had to. It seemed as if his years of hard work had gone to waste. Now before the warden could arrest him, Clemens' dog attacked the warden. Bit him and thus once again Clemens. He got a chance to escape and he ran away with his whole life. He tried to run away from here but then there was a gunshot and when he turned back. When he turned around, he saw his dog dead. Clemens was deeply saddened by this. But despite this he did not stop and he continued to move forward with all his might. Later he climbed over the bridge and passed underneath. Jump on the passing train and escape. And something like this he went to the wardens. He escaped from my hands again. Now, days like this passed by, and Clemens gradually came to terms with this. I continued on my journey. The year 1952 arrived and now Clemens was released from prison. It had been 7 years since he had run away. The time was in Central Asia and a village. I was wandering around in the fair. He saw different food items. He felt like eating, but he had no money, so he had a stone on his heart. He kept it and moved on. Then his eyes turned. It fell on the girls who were selling pancakes at the fair. Clemens would have loved to eat these pancakes. But the poor man had not even a penny in his pocket. There was none. So he walked on, disappointed. But then one of the girls noticed him. Craving overtook him and he ate a portion of the pancake. He broke it and gave it to Clemens. At first, Clemens felt a little awkward. Then thanking the girls, I ate the pancake. Now there's a Jewish man at this fair. There was also a man who had seen all this. Then Clemens went to a church and the man also followed her into the church. Arrived. In fact, this man too once upon a time used to be a prisoner. So he called Clemens. Did not hand him over to the police and helped him. He then tried to. He took her to his home where Clemens spent many years. After I shave and I'm back to my old self. Came. Then the man gave Clemens a new passport so that he could cross the Russian border. Clemens was able to cross the river and reach Germany. I was very pleased with the man. Before leaving, Clemens thanked him and heading towards the border between Russia and Germany. A few weeks later, Clemens reached the border and the Russians present there. I showed the policeman my passport. Clemens was afraid that the soldier might not recognize him or catch his fake passport. Don't go, but luckily nothing like that. It happened and the soldier took Clemens across the border. Now, seeing this, Clemens was so happy that even if he wanted to, he couldn't stop laughing. Finally, he was on that bridge. He came upon a place which he crossed and returned to his country. Will reach Germany. But as soon as he reached halfway, a shadow fell on his eyes. A bright light shone on him, and when he opened his eyes, he found the warden in front of him. Now that Clemens looked back and saw he was on Russian soil, and that meant that the warden could still arrest him. Now here's where Clemens' heart breaks, because all his years of hard work now go to waste. We were about to meet. But then something happened, which even Clemens himself did not expect. Here the warden gave way to him and he was allowed to proceed. Now first, Clemens wasn't convinced. But he mustered up courage and stepped forward. Actually, the warden, Clemens' will to survive and his. I was very inspired by his bravery. So he didn't arrest Clemens and allowed him to return to his country. And then the warden tells him to stop fighting this fight. It was between soldiers. One was me and one was you. You won this. Go live your life. Now finally Clemens crossed that border and reached his country, Germany. Later he reached near his house, where I saw my daughter and wife. Now, just a little while later, both of them left home to go to church. When she leaves, Clemens follows her. Although I hadn't called my daughter yet, because he hoped that one day her father would come. When her daughter followed, when he turned around, he recognized his father and ran to hug his father. Now, after all these years, Clemens is alive. There was no limit to his wife's happiness after seeing this. Finally, the three of them found each other, hugged, and with this on the true story, the film that was made ended here. Hope you liked today's story.